My special guest this afternoon is Dr. Matthew Dixon. He is the director of Trinity Athletics and Physical Education. And help me out with this. You have a long title. Doctor.
Yeah, we can just say director of athletics. That keeps it nice and easy.
Just gonna.
Why not?
Okay. Now, Dr. Matthew Dixon. I love that I'm saying doctor. I think that is so amazing. What are you a doctor in? Is it education?
Yeah, doctor of education. So that was something that I worked on. Tried to finish that as much as I could before continuing on with my family and having kids, and was privileged to be able to graduate and finish at the age of 28. So that was kind of a fun thing. Now having a 3-year-old and another one on the way, I know I don't have to be worrying about that as something later to do. So
that is an amazing achievement. So congratulations on that. And yes, when you say one on the way, you really mean one on the way.
Yeah,
like you might have to leave at any second.
If I just leave, you know why? Yeah, 2 weeks, which really at that point it's kind of go time at any time.
It really is at any time. So you have the phone ready. You don't have to
ready
mute
to go.
You know what? This is one exception I'll make. You don't have to mute your phone in this studio.
I appreciate it.
Okay, so let's talk. I want to talk about the athletic department at Trinity Classical Academy. Before, every month or so, we do have faculty come in and parents from your school, and it is such an amazing enlightenment, the things they have taught me about your school. And you're the one department that I have not heard from, so I'm so glad.
Yes.
I know.
Okay.
I'm so glad that you've come in. So now tell me a little bit about what sports are offered at Trinity Classical Academy, what grade levels participate, what you personally are involved in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because I think many times in athletics, it tends to get segregated from other departments at schools, and that's a really easy thing. For some schools, athletics just completely takes over. It ends up being what a lot of people do. And while there's a lot of good to it, it's something that we really try to have be an integral part of everything that's a part of the school. But yeah, to answer your question, we have a little bit of everything. But the main sports, the volleyball, basketball, football, soccer, those are really all a part of what we do. But I think what's unique about Trinity, and for a lot of private schools, this can be the case, we really have that K through 12 option. So we have different things that are offered for kids K through 12, really, to participate in these different avenues. And they can do it all with their friends at the same school, all growing up. And I think that's something very unique, to be able to really dig in and build those relationships, which is really a neat thing for them to be able to do.
What great. So in kindergarten, let's say I have someone entering kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I know, do you have a pre-kindergarten as well?
We have a TK,
That's a TK. There you go.
Transitional kindergarten.
Now, so I have a small child and he or she wants to get involved in some kind of sports. What would you recommend for someone so young?
Yeah, we try to be really intentional with how we're doing that. Even with the developmental process that kids are at. So what we do for TK all the way through second and even some of third grade is we host clinics. And those clinics are oftentimes coached by our varsity coaches and then even some of our varsity athletes, because we really want to connect them. We really want them to be involved in the student life of what they're doing. But they're able to take part in things like cross country, or have a volleyball clinic or football clinic or basketball clinic, because developmentally where they're at, that's what they need to know. They just need to know some of the basic skills, understand the game, understand what it's about, and they can dive right in and really just get their feet wet, because we have no idea their specialization or where they're going to be at or what they're even going to enjoy. So what I encourage people to do is I just say, try it. Just try something. Get to know our coaches, get to know some of our high school students, as you can be involved with them, and just enjoy the sport at this point. Because I think too many parents these days want to have that competitive edge, from age 5 years old, and it gets a little bit out of hand sometimes, because the reality is that even current high school students, statistics will say from the NCAA that only about 1 to 2%, it really depends on the sport, but about 1 to 2% of kids currently competing in high school athletics will go on and continue in college.
I think part of the competitiveness and that I've seen having a daughter grow up in town here comes from, I think some of the parents see a little bit of talent, maybe on the football field or maybe on the track team, and then they're thinking up here, college.
Oh, absolutely. And paid for.
Right. And I think
even beyond the NBA.
The motivation. Now you started to talk about coaches. So tell me, how do you find the right coaches for Trinity Classical Academy?
Yeah, it's a process, I think finding the right coach is such an important part of who we are, because this is what I explain to our coaches all the time. Our athletics programs, whether we like it or not, just the reality of the nature of the town we live in, the culture in which we are, they are the face of our school. I wouldn't say that they're the heart and soul of our school. That would be some more of the educational and spiritual aspects of who we are and that cultural aspect. But they're the face of our school, because if you think about it, they are the only representation that really goes out beyond our campus and interacts with other schools, other families, other parents. So finding those coaches, finding quality coaches that represent who we are, who Trinity really is such an important part of that. So it's a process. We're in the process right now. If anyone is interested in coaching JV boys basketball, we are looking. Varsity baseball is one I'm looking for as well. And it just takes some time. It takes many interviews, getting to know those people, who they are. A lot of times that happens through word of mouth or getting to know different connections like that. But we really want to find people who fit our school and fit our culture.
That's what I was going to ask you. It's not just, are you a good baseball coach, but you have to fit your surroundings, and you have to believe in what you guys set forth as far as your school beliefs and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So I can imagine it's just not, you can hit a ball, you know how the baseball game works? Great, come on in. It's not like that at all.
No, and there are many people who are really good coaches in the sense, they know the game, they can teach it, they know the X's and O's, but if they can't represent who you are, not only, yes, they are the face to the outside community, but we have to remember these are the people working with our students. These are the people that we are putting in front of them saying, here is the ideal. Right? Here is the person that we want you to model and be like. And we want to make sure that those people, although no one is perfect, we want to make sure that we find people that best as we can fit that mold for us.
Absolutely. Now, how about the athletes? Have you had some spectacular athletes, any standouts that have gone on to do bigger and better things outside of Trinity Classical Academy? Have they graduated and gone on to do?
Yeah, we have. Even in the short life of our school, we haven't been around that long, but we've been able to have some students, specifically from the Department of Athletics, go on and play at the next level, go play that college level. We're actually really excited. We have a senior this year. Her name's Jessica Eblin, and she's our first student to get a Division I scholarship. She's going to go be playing at volleyball at Siena College. So we're really excited for her, and we were glad to. Obviously, there's a lot of work that she did in putting into that.
What's her name? What's her name?
Jessica Eblin.
Way to go, Jessica! Way to go, Jessica!
So it's pretty cool to be able to see students like that put in the work and put in the time and allow us to be a part of that process with them to be able to do that. But we've had kids at other schools and other colleges play football and basketball. We have a student right now at the Masters College Masters University. Who's participating there as well. Westmont, some up in Washington, out in Kansas, kind of all over the country in different places. Be able to go and play at that next level. And that's the thing. We really do want to be able to have that balance, because like I mentioned before, you have that 1% to 2% who are really going to make it and go on and play. But you think about it, you have all these other kids who are participating. If we're overly pragmatic about it, why should they even play if they're not going to go to play at that next level? And I think for me, it's everything else that they're learning from it. It's not that I'm going to continue to play basketball necessarily, but it's the life lessons that they're learning in and through that process for them. So that's what's fun about being able to see some of those kids fulfill their dream, if you will, and go and continue to play. But they all know that at some point it's going to end. If they're so privileged and they get to continue to play even from beyond there, I still hope that those things that they've been able to learn, they can grab hold on, to and keep.
Absolutely. Dr. Dixon, if you, I just have to do a little bit of business here.
Great.
Can you hang around? And 'cause
Yeah, let's do it.
I have one more very important question to ask you.
Love it.
You'll hang around?
Yes.